What's up, guys? Since we did not have any spectacular catches to cover today, we thought we'd take 15 minutes to talk about Pat's fishing rod that he built. He got the components, I believe, from Mudhole. I'll put the link below for that, and we'll take a look at the rod setup and what he picked and how he set it up. But here it is. This is the rod.
There it is.
So what's that stuff again?
So it's just I got the carbon fiber handle.
Got it.
It's solid. It's got a high density foam core in it.
Cool.
It is hypersensitive.
And so you went full handle instead of the little piece of rod in here?
I did. One, it doesn't add a lot more weight. Two, it just alleviates wrapping, which I didn't think I'd be very good at the first time.
Right.
So I just went with the full handle to make it easier.
Wrapping being like these little round circular things.
Exactly. Doing a butt wrap or something like that is.
So it wasn't like you could just buy the rod and a bunch of glue and go for it. You had to get some parts, right?
Yeah, I mean, it comes, you can buy a kit from Mudhole. Mudhole's got it down pretty good. If you buy one of their kits.
Right. And
it's literally almost point and shoot. It's really not that difficult. This was not a kit because I wanted different handles and different reel seat.
So you kind of hand-picked everything.
So I pretty much hand-picked everything.
So you start, you know, as far as like mental methodology, you start with like picking the rod first, right?
Yeah.
Or the blank first, which is this thing here. And they're made of different materials, but most of them are what? Graphite nowadays?
Graphite. You have graphite glass, and then you have the composite, which is a graphite. Half of the blank is graphite. The top tip will be fiberglass. Give you more for crankbait rods and things like that. But no, it's, you buy the blank, and I would recommend probably if you're not picky like me, you turn around and just buy a kit.
Right.
It gives you everything you need. You don't have to think about it. The way I chose to do it and buying the parts individual is a little more difficult to make sure the winding check was the right size, the reel seat was the right size.
And so you went with now you have a number that you call out. It's an 874.
Yeah, the blank is an 874, so it's 87 inches. It's a 4-power, so 7.3 4-power, which I wrote 7.3 on there. It's just a fast action.
Okay.
This
fast action meaning like it gets into the strength of the rod pretty quick when it bends. Yeah. And it's pretty fast. It felt like to me when I was fishing it. Like it's probably fast, a little bit on the fast side.
This is a stout rod. If you read some of the reviews on it, it's a stout rod. It's a heavy rod.
Right.
I would consider it a heavy in most manufacturers.
And you're going to frog with this, right?
Predominantly, I'll frog with it in heavy jigs and possibly even some A-rig stuff if I start to try that again.
Okay.
But the thing that blew me away and I was a little concerned about initially is it's actually pretty sensitive.
Oh, okay.
It's actually pretty sensitive, and this right here is remarkably sensitive. Is it an NRX sensitive? You know what I mean?
No,
GLX sensitive? No. But it's pretty damn
all right,
sensitive.
so like let's talk about what you had to buy. You had to get the blank, this reel seat, and then you had to get your guides.
Right. So at Mudhole, I bought the blank. The reel seat, they have a number of different reel seats and handle combinations. So you buy those components. I buy the handle, the butt, the actual reel seat itself, the winding check for the front, and then the guides. You can get as complicated as you want, but Mudhole does provide actual guide kits, which gives you everything. And then the measurements are on their website.
Comes on like a little page or on their website link or something.
Now every blank is different, so I kind of manipulated the guide spacing a little bit. I probably could have added another guide,
right? But
it was getting a little tip heavy, so I kind of left it alone.
Right.
But I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, you have a pretty healthy amount of guides on there.
Yeah,
if you look at it.
10 plus the top.
10 plus tip. Yeah, I mean down at the end you've got a nice array, and they tell you where to put those. Now you put this in a machine when you're putting the guides on. Now does the reel seat go on first, or do you spin and put the guides on first?
No, handle's got to go on first. Everything slides from the top down.
Okay.
So whenever you're putting anything together, it's coming down. So
because it gets to the wider point.
Yeah, you start here and let everything
work your way
dry.
to the tip.
And then you put the guides on where you think's appropriate. You can test it depending on how you attach the guides temporarily.
And then you went with a red fiber.
I did. I went with the nylon wrap, and the reason for that is I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but
yeah, I see the glow.
You can see it's kind of a candy apple, but it shows a little bit of the guide foot that comes through the actual wrapping.
Yeah, I see it.
And as I said before, and I was talking to you before, I love fly rods. And that's kind of almost a fly rod thing. You find a lot of that, the translucent wraps or these semi-transparent wraps on fly rods.
Yep.
And I just dig that look.
Right.
You could do a regular, I don't even know what the material is. I mean, it's probably some kind of nylon of some sort, but it's non-transparent.
And it's literally just a thread.
Yeah, it's a thread.
And you spin this rod around, and the thread kind of builds, and you walk it down until you cover the whole thing.
Correct.
And then you have special knots to do at the end to tighten it up.
Just pull through.
And then you push it. When you push it together, what do they call that? When you're pushing the string together?
You're burnishing it.
Burnishing, yeah. So you burnish it, you get it all tight, and then when it's all done, you just coat it with epoxy, right?
Exactly, and it's really not difficult. You know, the kits, some of the kits that you can buy don't come with thread or wrapping or whatever you want to call it. I did size A because it's extremely thin, and it burnishes.
It almost looks like a solid material.
Yeah, it almost looks like solid paint. If you go to a D,
which is, what is the gold?
The gold is just a metallic size A thread.
Okay.
And I just wrap that.
I'd probably go with a fatter thread. Just keep it simple, stupid for me.
Yeah, if you do a size D, it's much easier.
Yeah.
But it's going to look more of that ropish kind of finish, which is cool, and so a lot of people like.
Depends on what you're into.
Yeah, it's just not. Again, I'm kind of motivated by the
kind of a purist.
Yeah.
And you can get that blank in multiple colors.
Absolutely, they got some cool
yellows
colors.
And pinks, and you know, I'd want a pink one.
Yes, you need a pink one. You should have a pink one. But I mean, listen, guys, if anyone's thinking about doing it, it's not hard. I mean, I can make it as difficult as I want to make it. To be quite honest with you, I ordered another blank. I'm going to build another one. And I mean, I think realistically.
And you said it's going to be 834?
Yeah, it's going to be a 7-foot medium.
833 or 834?
843.
843. Yeah, I'm saying it backwards.
The
84 inches long and a 3-power rod. So that's going to be like your.
It's going to be your medium.
Medium, heavy, fast, right?
No, it'll just be a medium, fast action. It's 3/4. It's like one. It's like.
So 4 is a medium heavy.
Well, that's what their rating is.
Yeah, it's all the ratings, like medium, heavy, heavy. You've picked up different rods before, you realize like there's a little difference between them all. So
this is a stout 4-power, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's more of a 5-power.
Yeah, you know, it's a 4.65 power, you know, something like that.
It's a stout rod. But you know, their 3 is supposed to be a little bit on the lighter side.
Right.
They actually make a 3.5.
Yep.
Which is cool. That'll probably be my 7.3. I'll probably build one of those.
Well, that's cool. So you would say all in, let's not count the stuff it takes to make it, like the tools. You were saying somewhere about $1.25.
About 125.
Yeah, so 125 for a pretty damn nice looking rod, and it's hand built, so you can't like replace the satisfaction of creating something.
No.
And then you can dial in exactly what you want. It might take a little trial and error to figure out the blanks and stuff, but once you get that all sorted.
Exactly.
And the thing is, you can, if you find a combination you love, you can recreate it over and over and over again. You can make 10 of them.
Absolutely. I mean, you can adjust the butt if you want a shorter handle, longer handle.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty
sweet,
cool, man, what you can do with it.
And then you just took a gold Sharpie type pen and wrote in the specs on the bottom?
Yeah, because I don't want to put the sticker. Again, I'm going back to the fly rod, because
a
lot of higher end fly rods is handwritten. So I wanted to do the same thing. Now, I don't have the best handwriting.
It looks fine. Looks kind of cool.
So I just put the month that I built it, and put it in there and gave her a go.
And so on this nice frog rod, we probably have the world's worst frog ever made.
It probably. I'm fairly certain it's a crankbait gel.
Pat and I were trying to buy these snakehead frogs that are just literally blobs with hooks, and we thought, oh, well, they won't have any action, but the snakeheads will kill them. You cast them and you yank them twice, and they're like 5 foot deep in the water. And you're like, what the heck? They're terrible. They're the worst things ever. So don't buy them.
I'm not sure what. I mean, it's still dripping water.
Unless we discover there's some species of fish out there that just loves the action, which is basically not natural.
Yeah, stay far away from these.
All right, man. Thanks, Pat.
No problem.
All right. See you guys later. Take care. Tight lines. Peace.